Coming at you from the car today in my backyard because it's snow day and there are people in the house that weren't supposed to be in the house, and I wanted to make this easy. And that's what this video is about. 3 content ideas that are going to help you when life gets hard so that you can stay consistent but also feel authentic. That's one of the things that I really struggled with, is I wanted a way to show up but not feel fake, because when life is hard behind the scenes and we just show up like everything's fine, it feels gross. And I'm not saying that you have to share the details of what's going on, but sometimes we have to break the ice, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. First, let's talk about the easiest type of content you can post, because when you are emotionally tied up with serious stuff, and I'm talking like you've got family members you're taking care of, like my dad is not doing well, and because of that I have siblings who aren't doing well and we have to lean on each other, and then my son is in middle school and he's got stuff going on, and just life gets sticky sometimes. And there are different levels of hardships when it comes to content creators, so sometimes we just have to take a break. But I'm talking about when things are rough, but we need to be able to show up online and we're able to do it. So the easiest way to do it is for you to go find a quote that you used in a written post somewhere, or maybe it was a podcast, maybe it was something you said in a podcast, maybe it was something you said in a video, and you're just going to take that 1 to 2 sentences and you're going to create a text bubble. And that can be a standstill picture, that can be a text bubble that you put on video of you working behind the scenes, and you should be getting video of you behind the scenes on a routine basis so you can save it in an album called Behind the Scenes for days like this. I also have a template in my Canva so that I can always use that template for that text bubble look that I want to have. That way, all you have to do is go grab that line, put it in Canva, put the video behind it, bam, you're done. Content idea number 2 for when life gets hard and you don't know what to post. I want you to start taking note of what you're going through. I'm saying literally get out your phone and put it in your notes app, and you're gonna start giving yourself pep talks. I did this a week or so ago. I simply wrote down how I need to remember that I am in a tough season. I am not like a lot of people who are in my niche, who are half my age, who don't have kids, who aren't having to deal with parents who are sick. I am in a different season of life, and I need to remember that and stop comparing my season or my chapter to their chapter. So I wrote that to myself, thinking that this could potentially be a reel. But then I thought, isn't it obvious that I'm in a different season? Like, hello, I mean, I'm almost 50, of course, but I had to keep reminding myself of that. And that's when I realized my ideal person needs to be reminded of this too. And then I decided I'm gonna make this the easiest reel, and I give myself deadlines. Maybe it's the former journalist in me, but I told myself this reel has to be created by 3:30, and it was 30 degrees outside, and I said, and you have to go outside with no jacket and go create this reel and come back, because I knew if I did that, I would not take a lot of time, and I didn't. I was even wearing jean shorts that day. And so I went out there with my selfie stick, and I created this reel in less than 15 minutes, probably less than 10, it was very cold. No fancy editing, I just literally took the reminder that I put in my notes app in this reel, and I addressed the camera as if I was talking to my ideal person. Instead of me talking to me, I was talking to my ideal person. It was such an easy reel that resonated with so many people. And you know what is great about that? Not only are you building connection, but you also had a good experience with that post. And if it's been hard for you to come back on social media and you get a good experience because people are in the comments saying, oh, I needed to hear that, thank you so much. When you hear that, it validates that you are speaking to your ideal person. They did need to hear that just like you did. And that makes you feel good, and therefore you're more likely to post again. And by the way, that reel did better than I've had a reel do in a long time. Don't forget that your ideal person is going through the stuff that you're going through, and you don't need to be ashamed that you're still struggling, because you're human and we are living on earth. We're always gonna have struggles. There's always gonna be some kind of a hardship that pops up. Another way you can do this very same thing, I've done it a lot, especially when I come back from a break and I'm like, what do I say after I've been missing for 2 months, is I will take what I'm feeling and I will turn it into a skit reel. I will have at least 2 characters. Sometimes I've had several, and they will kind of act out what I'm going through. So maybe one character is expressing the feelings that I'm having, the struggle that I'm having, and then the other character is giving that advice. So instead of giving the advice straight to the camera, speaking to your ideal person, a character is giving that advice to the character playing your ideal person instead. Again, I got a great response with that because people are dealing with this stuff. Life has been uber difficult for everybody in the world the last couple years. And even though we don't want to talk about it all the time because it's heavy, we're feeling it. And even if you just go there a little bit and say, yeah, I feel this way too. Yeah, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and grab my phone and look at news headlines when I know that's the last thing I should be doing. This next content idea is not going to be for every time you're going through something. I have found that when I'm going through something really heavy that's just all consuming all the time, that is when I'm least likely to get online because I do feel so fake because it's so heavy and it's like sitting right behind my eyeballs, right on my tear ducts. Like as soon as I start talking about anything, I'm probably gonna cry. Like it's that hard. That is when I will go into my stories. Now you could do this in Reels, you could do this wherever you want. You get to decide where you're gonna do this stuff. But for me, I did it in my stories because my audience was smaller, because it just didn't feel right doing it anywhere else. And I didn't do it for them, I did it for me in this situation. Now this was when I was back home in Alabama and I had visited my dad and I just saw a huge decline in his mental health and his dementia between visits, and it was just shocking. Uh-oh, one of the little snowbirds just came out. Hi, you're in my YouTube video.
Okay.
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 All right, bye. By the way, this was a terrible snow day. It wasn't even like there's snow on the ground to play with. It was just an icy, wintry mix, as they call it. Back to the serious stuff. So I had seen a decline in my dad, and it was devastating. But I knew if I didn't talk about it, I wouldn't be able to show up consistently. And so I felt like I had to break the ice. And I got in my stories, and I was a blubbery mess, and I just talked about it, and I cried. I didn't feel good about that part, like that I normally don't do. But it felt so good to get out because it's like, whew, I got that out of the way. Now I feel like I can show up and get back to the regular programming of talking about the things I normally talk about. Even if you just have to write something and maybe you put just a still picture and you don't have to go into all the details. But if you need to break the ice, break the ice. Let that out so that you can move on and start posting again. Now, this doesn't mean you're posting every single day. And by the way, I can't wait to tell you in my next video, I'm gonna update you on my content strategy for 2023 because I have been shocked at how well it's working. Even though I am posting less, I'm actually growing again on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm gonna share all the numbers with you and exactly how I'm doing it in my next video. But with this video, I just want you to take these 3 things and I want you to write them down somewhere so that you have a reminder of how you can take what you're going through and you can use it to connect with your audience, or you just take something and you repurpose something. And also you can repurpose content. That's another idea. Don't even feel like you have to do something brand new. Just repurpose by reposting. Comment below and tell me how you deal with hard things. You just completely take a break? Do you have something that you do, or maybe you have like emergency posts waiting in the wing for those days? Maybe you batch a lot. I can't batch, but maybe that's what you do. And then I want you to watch this video right here in case you missed my content strategy 2023. Watch this right here and I will give you more ideas on how you can grow your audience by doing less this year in 2023. We gotta make life easy. Like it's hard enough as it is. Let's not complicate it.